Welcome to Programming by Practicing, where my aim is to take you from a novice to an expert in a single day. Hey guys, so let's start with some basics. The first thing I want to teach you is how to comment. Comments are just statements which you put on your code to actually tell the audience who's someone who's trying to read your code what the hell you're trying to achieve. For example, as you can see in this particular Ruby script, I have two comments: programming by practicing and basics. These don't get executed by the Ruby compiler or interpreter, so you can type whatever you want. Let's say I'm trying to put we'll learn about variables later, but let's say result equals 10 by 2, and I can put a comment saying I am trying to test division. So if you run it, this will run ignoring all the comments. Let's test that. basics.rb. Yeah. So if you want to see the results, you have to use put statement. Again, we'll learn about this in a moment, but just print put statement and it's actually going to print the value 5. What happens if you don't give this hash? Then Ruby thinks that I am trying to test division statement is also an instruction which it has to interpret, and it will try to compile that, and it will throw all sorts of error saying that unterminated string, end of file, blah blah. All that's trying to say is that I cannot interpret this instruction, it's wrong, please fix it and compile again. So we learned about commenting. It's a good way to make your program more readable and understandable. Anyway, so the next thing I want to tell you guys is variables. So a variable is nothing but a container which can be used to store the result of operations. For example, earlier we tried a division operator. This is almost equivalent to what you type in your textbook. Just give 10 by 2, and now this variable result will contain the result of this operation. Now here's a tidbit for you. Let's say I am trying to print this result. So it prints Ruby basics.rb. It printed 5, right? Now what if I give it 4? Now if I execute this, it actually printed 2. What happened? 10 by 4 should be 2.5. Well, the thing is, 10 is an integer, 4 is an integer, so Ruby assumes that the result is also an integer. So it actually chops off the 2.5 into an integer, making it 2, and then it prints 2.5. Now how can you make it 2.5? So you just convert integer into a decimal by giving 0.0, and now if you execute the script, it prints 2.5. So we've started learning about integers and variables. You can give integers, you can give decimals, and sometimes you can give strings. So let's define a variable prefix, and I will give a string stating that the result is. And now you can actually print the variable as well, prefix, and then the result. So now if you execute it, it's actually printing the string followed by the result. So string is nothing but a group of characters which is used to output statements to somebody who is running your program to tell them that, okay, this is what's happening, this is the result, and this is the value, etc, etc. So I've been using this function putAs along in this program to sort of print out the result. Now what putAs is, it's an instruction to Ruby to call a function which has already been built into the language to print out whatever is given within double quotes. So as you saw above, a string is represented using two double quotes at the end of a collection of letters. Similarly, if you can give putAs and a string value, and it actually prints the string. You can directly give a variable name and it will print the variable value. You can even give an integer directly and it will print the integer value. So basically putAs function takes whatever parameter you give and it prints it. Now what if you want to print something nice for the user? So like I showed you earlier, all you have to do is give result, a collection of letters followed by this operator hash and then curly brackets. That actually tells Ruby that whatever variable you give within this uh, operator, you just extract the value out of it and then print it. You can even give an operation within it saying 10.0 divided by 4, and Ruby will actually execute this arithmetic operation, take the value, combine it with the string and then print it. Let's see, result 2.5. Instead of this arithmetic operation, you can simply give the variable and it will extract the value out of the variable, combine it with this result string and then print a nicely formatted string, result 2.5. So these are the basics which I wanted to teach you today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Thank you guys for your time. Once you practice what we've learned today, do check out the quiz in the description box to make sure you understood everything thoroughly. And if you found this video helpful, please like this video and do subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, do comment them below and I will answer all of them as fast as I can.